Failure is looking at you. Maybe it was today. Maybe it was a week ago. Or perhaps you've been carrying something for months. A decision, a project, a relationship. And the voice in your head will not stop repeating it. I should have seen it coming. Marcus Aurelius knew that voice. He was the most powerful man in the world. He commanded armies, governed nations, held the fate of millions in his hands. And yet, at night in private, he wrote notes to himself about how to survive defeat. Not to publish them, not to teach them, just to remind himself how to keep standing. That is what we call today the Meditations. And inside that book is a map for failure that no one has ever given you. Today I give it to you. Marcus Aurelius was born in 121 AD in Rome. At 17, Emperor Hadrian chose him as eventual successor, not by blood, but by character. He spent decades preparing to rule, and when he finally came to power, the world collapsed around him. A plague swept the empire. Millions died, among them several of his own children. His generals betrayed him. The northern borders burned with constant war. And Marcus, the philosopher who wanted to study and meditate, spent nearly his entire reign in military camps, with mud on his boots and bodies around him. This was not the life he wanted, and he wrote about that, with an honesty that still echoes 2,000 years later. Principle 1. The obstacle is the way. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes, the obstacle to our acting. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Stop there for a moment. He does not say the obstacle disappears. He does not say everything happens for a reason. He says something more precise and more difficult. That the trained mind can convert resistance into fuel. Think about it in modern terms. You lose your job. The instinctive reaction is grief, shame, paralysis. That is human. But the Stoic, after that first blow, asks one question: what opens up? Not as cheap optimism, as discipline, as a muscle you train. Failure contains information about what you were, what you believed, what you were avoiding. And that information, if you use it, is more valuable than any success the thing you lost could have given you. The question that changes everything is not why did this happen to me? It is what does this allow me to do that I could not do before? Principle 2. Control only what is yours. Epictetus, the slave who became the most influential philosopher of his era, taught something that Marcus Aurelius repeated in the Meditations again and again. Some things are in our control, and some things are not in our control. In our control, our judgments, our impulses, our desires, our response. Not in our control. The body, reputation, position, the opinion of others, the outcome. When you fail, the modern mind does exactly the opposite of what Stoicism prescribes. It obsesses over what it cannot control. The opinion of those who witnessed it. The opportunity that no longer exists. The time that is gone. And that misdirected focus is the second defeat, after the first. The Stoic is not someone who does not feel failure. The Stoic feels failure and knows where to direct their energy afterward. Principle 3. Adversity is practice. There is a sentence Marcus Aurelius repeats to himself in the Meditations. He repeats it in different forms, in different contexts. But the idea is always the same. Do not be surprised by difficulty. Expect it, he wrote. Begin the morning by saying to yourself, I shall meet with meddling, ungrateful, violent, treacherous, envious, uncharitable men. All these things happen to them by reason of their ignorance of what is good and evil. This is not cynicism. It is preparation. When failure arrives without warning, it crushes. When it arrives having been anticipated, not with fear but with equanimity, the blow is dead. You recognize it. You had seen it coming, not as a specific event but as a category. Life has friction. Projects fail. People disappoint. Plans break. The Stoic does not live in denial. The Stoic lives in preparation, and that preparation creates a kind of invisible armor, not to stop feeling, but to not be knocked down by what you already expected. There is a thread that connects these three principles, and it is this: failure does not define you. Your response to failure does. Marcus Aurelius did not choose to rule during a plague. He did not choose to lose children. He did not choose to be betrayed by his generals. But he chose every day how to respond. And those responses, written in the darkness of his campaign tent, are what made him the greatest of the philosopher emperors. Not because of what he lived through, but because of how he lived it. You are also writing something, not in a journal, in the decisions you make after you fall, in how you treat those around you when things go wrong, in how you speak to yourself in the moments no one else sees. That is your Stoic practice, and it starts today. If this video found you in a difficult moment, perhaps it wasn't an accident. The Stoics would have called it logos, the invisible order that weaves things together. In the next video, we talk about Seneca and why the richest philosopher in Rome wrote the most important texts about inner poverty. See you there.